Hello, everyone. My name, welcome. Hello. My name is Caleb Eno, and this is my compatriot,
Hi, everybody.
Scott. And we were doing a lot of setup right before we pushed the button here. So excited to get online and play with you all today. Love to do a quick mic check, make sure that both myself and Scott are audible. We'll look for that in the chat window. But yeah, it should be...
Check 1, 2. I've got you loud and clear on YouTube. And I've got myself loud and clear.
Okay, great. Fantastic. Yeah, so today's going to be a fun one. So for those of you who aren't familiar, we are the COGG, the Central Ohio Game Developers Group. We are a group dedicated to providing resources and networking for people in the Central Ohio area specifically to come together, to work on games together, to learn how to make games better, and just have a lot of fun doing it and meet a lot of other people who are doing the same kind of thing. So yeah, and this is our monthly Let's Play series. So the idea behind what we're doing here today is we are going to take a look at some games, and we're going to talk about their design, what they did, what they were attempting to do, what went well, what could have maybe gone better, and just doing a kind of a design analysis. Now today is a special day, so we're doing a theme called experimental. Now the thing with experimental games is that we're taking a look at games that are trying to do something a little bit different, or maybe taking a core mechanic and putting a twist on it, or making a different kind of flavor or something. And what's interesting about this set of games, we've got 5 games. We're hopefully going to get to touch all of them for anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes each. And so we'll take a look at these. And what we're looking at is, what did the game designers say? Okay, I'm going to try to take this idea and merge these two things together, or play with them in a different way, or test something out and just see what they were doing and whether it worked or what might be able to be done differently. Again, we're going to kind of do a quick shot at a couple of these games just to give you a flavor of them. A lot of the things about experimental games is that a lot of the design goes into giving you a particular experience, and so a lot of these are probably going to be, we can talk about them, but we'll want you to play them on your own because there's just some interesting things happening here. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to get into it. What do you think, Scott?
I'm pretty excited too. These type of games are what make me really love games, of trying to tackle either a difficult subject or some type of emotion, or present something in a very unique way. Video games have this very special way of presenting that, and there's so many different ways that you can approach a subject or a topic, and it's a very unique and fun thing to experience. I also think that this is going to be a special day because we are going to be switching between so many games, and we've never done that before.
It's true.
So this is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was playing with something last night, trying to do a different audio setup, because I mean, if you've been around, I've had trouble occasionally getting the audio to pipe through for one particular game or another, and so I'm trying a more wholesale approach right now. So I'm just going to stream the desktop audio individually to hopefully capture the audio from all of the games. I tested it last night, seemed to work, so we're going to give it a try. Hopefully it'll be fine. But as a result, you can hear like dings and things from Windows in the background or whatever, but I think it'll be all right. And, I'm excited.
It'll be more authentic.
More authentic. There we go.
That's right.
Yeah. All right.
Really quick, these type of games, experimental type of games, makes me think of a story. I had a friend in Cleveland, and we were talking about different ways of taking a mundane subject and presenting it into a game. So somebody in the group suddenly mentioned, he's like, you can't make everything an interesting game. And this friend of mine, he said, well, go ahead and give me a challenge. He was an excellent programmer. And somebody brought up the idea, it was like hanging drywall. I bet you can't make hanging drywall into an interesting game. And he said, challenge accepted. And he went home that weekend, came back on the next time that we got together, and he had this game where you could hang drywall, and it was fun. It was interesting.
That is great.
So these type of games make me think of stuff like this, and just like taking a very interesting subject or even a mundane subject. I said interesting. Hanging drywall is not interesting, but still gamifying it and making it a challenge.
That is fantastic.
But it's just a fun story. I always think of that story.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that would be such an interesting prompt for like a game jam or something. Just like mundane. Mm-hmm. That would be the prompt. Right. Like, take something mundane and make fun games out of it. Like that would be a pretty cool. Yeah, I love it. Well, some of these are not very mundane. Some of these are really interesting.
Absolutely, yeah.
Let's go ahead and take a look at our list here. So we had a list of 13 games that we put out there for our community to vote on, and we actually got a collection of games that we could only do 4 or 5 depending on how much time each one of us takes us, and we actually got multiple ties in terms of what people were interested in playing. So we're going to start with the beginner's guide. That was actually the one that got the most, and I think the beginner's guide is a really interesting game, not necessarily from a mechanical perspective, but more from the meta perspective. We'll talk about that more. And then we have Morbacular Drop, which is I'm excited to talk about this one because it's really it's got an interesting backstory to it. We're gonna be looking at Proteus now. I will say that there was actually another game, Panoramica, that is in a similar vein of experimentation as Proteus, and both of them got the same number of votes, and I didn't want to play both of them because they're relatively similar in their concept, and I wanted to pick one. And I ended up picking Proteus for 2 reasons. One, I already owned it, and so that was kind of a bonus. 2, I have played this game through many times. I have shared it with a lot of people. It takes about 2 hours to play from beginning to end, and I love this game so much. It's so much fun. I really, really enjoy Proteus, so I'm excited to share that one with everybody. So then we're going to be doing Getting Over It, which I don't know. I'm a little worried because there was like a comment by Wes, let's make Caleb sweat. And I'm like, oh boy, what are we getting ourselves into here with this one? I've seen like just only seconds of gameplay.
It's a very difficult game.
I think that's what I'm hearing. Yes, I think that's what I'm hearing. And the last one, which I don't know if we're going to have time for, but I do want to mention it, is the Liquidators game. Actually, Scott, I think that's the other one. So I forgot to warn you that there are actually 2 Liquidators games out there. This is the newer one, which is actually going to be coming out sometime. It's not out yet. It's a pending release. The other one is an older game. I didn't catch that when I was just throwing the picture there. Sorry, Scott. Not to throw you under the bus or anything like that.
1 minute to go, right?
But yeah, so this game Liquidators is a retelling of what happened at Chernobyl. There were 3 engineers who had to basically go in and stop the reactor from completely melting down. And if that had happened, it could have potentially done really bad things to the European continent, bad nuclear things for a long period of time. And so they were ultimately successful. Chernobyl's bad, but it wasn't as bad as it could have been. And so
their mission was successful.
Their mission was successful to stop the reactor from exploding, basically. And it's a game about that journey, and you play as the characters, the engineers. It's really fascinating. I was reading up a little bit about it.
And if you've seen the TV show, the HBO TV show, I think they dedicate one entire episode to this story.
Oh, interesting. I actually haven't.
It's if you get a chance to, you can even get it at the library or something like that. If you can't stream it, it's a fantastically made television show. It's great.
Very, very cool. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna take a look at some of these games, and I'm excited to share them with y'all. So let's take a look, starting with the beginner's guide. Let's go ahead and pop over to this one. Okay. So sorry, Scott's head is cut off there for a second, but it will only be for a second as I attempt to share this. share.
While you're getting ready for that, I will mention that I am familiar with some of these games. I haven't played all of these games, or any of these games.
Okay, I should be able to do this. Maybe? Come on. Come on. Okay. That's working, but the game capture is not. Let's try that. Come on. You can do it. Aha! There we go. Now the question is if that audio is coming through correctly.
Yes, you got it. I do believe it is.
Oops. Come on. No. Clicking away from this is funky. Okay. There's a note about the stream being really grainy. I hope that is...
I'll double check. You've got audio, you've got...
It's
not the best quality, but it's okay.
Okay. Is the game visible, viewable? Is it like reasonably clear?
Yes.
Okay.
It is very clear.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and begin the game. And we'll just let the game introduce itself for a minute.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
Warning. Whisper machine active. Shift destruction imminent.
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
Whisper machine.
Security call breached. Hostile alien life form inbound.
It kinda looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets.
Just did.
But ultimately we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin ship evacuation.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
Oh yeah. Totes.
I love the narration driving what you should look at.
Absolutely.
I think that's something to really take away from this game. And if you played the Stanley Parable, it's
Yes.
very much
Apparently
similar
the
to
space
that.
station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the Whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the Whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam. It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
What do you think? Should I do it, Scott?
Sure.
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level.
That's
When he
exactly
first
what I thought.
compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Uh-oh. Oh. There's the labyrinth.
Indeed.
The beam causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it, like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
Okay, I'm going to take a pause here for a second so we can kind of chat, because the game pretty much drives itself forward for most of the experience, which I'm trying to remember how long it takes to play through. I think it took me a couple of sessions to get all the way. So, I mean, it's at least a few hours to get through all of the sessions. Pretty much everything from an interaction perspective is very straightforward. It's WASD and mouse click, and that is basically everything. There's like interactables occasionally from time to time, things that you can click on, things you can interact with. But most of the game is exactly what we have seen so far. So you're introduced to a game by COGG, and then you're guided through the game by the narrator. What do you think so far, Scott?
Very intriguing. So I also, knowing what I know of at least the Stanley Parable, that there's going to be more here, and I'm assuming that each iteration of what we just did, right, will reveal probably more about COGG, and probably a little on the surface, a little bit more about little tiny game development design. I don't want to say techniques, but little pieces of information. Like I love how you're able to see the universe floor from this room. You know, little things like that, and of course there's a labyrinth in a spaceship. So why not? So, you know, little things like that, and I'm intrigued to know two things. One, which might be a spoiler to this game, but I have no idea if it is or not. So I'll skip over that and do the next one. The second one being COGG on his journey, if we're able to see any type of progression in that, or any type of thought changes that he may have had, right? The second one is I'm putting in subcontext, or I'm trying to read subcontext, and I think I don't want to play this game. Because he alluded to, so like he suddenly stopped in 2011, and there's a few questions of I'm unable to ask him what he's thinking. I have no idea what he thought when he built this, and I don't want to play the rest of this game.
Yes.
Maybe I'm talking a little too much here.
No, it's all right. It's all right. It's good, because like this is an experimental game, right? But it's not
exactly
anything experimental with mechanics. Your basic mechanics are very simple, very WASD with a mouse click. It's not doing anything interesting there. What it is doing is it's doing something very interesting from a narrative perspective. And so your questions are very narrative-heavy questions, which is perfect, because that's exactly what this whole game is playing with, is your narrative expectations. Now, the other thing, and the thing is like you've been introduced to the narrator. Well, the narrator is a real person. That's a real person's name. That is, in fact, the guy who's behind the Stanley Parable. That's real. And so then the question becomes, how much of this game is real? How much of these games are actually COGG's games, and
that's
how much? Yeah, and so I mean, he doesn't seem to be saying that COGG is dead, because he's saying he wants this collection to reach COGG eventually.
He did
have some sort of impact in his life.
I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but there's a question: who's COGG, and how did this guy get all these games, and is compiling them together again? And I have to say, like, there is almost like the last couple of chapters, there is a sucker gut punch, but it's not what you would expect at all. Like, it's okay. It's if you're thinking it's probably wrong, because it's something very unexpected that made me feel very uncomfortable. And it drove me to actually have to do a lot of research on this game afterwards, because, again, we're playing with meta here. This is a game that is also talking about real life, but is also a game talking about real life, but is also a game. And those two things are really struggling here between the two. And I ended up having to leave this game when it was done and go find out, where did this game come from? Like, what's the story behind it? Because there is something else going on here. And boy, I would love to sit down and talk about it, because it's really, really fascinating, and has a lot to say about the game development industry, especially about celebrity game developers. And so there's much conversation to be had about this game. We'll go ahead and play through just like a little bit more of it, but then they'll switch to another one. But this is really, it's really heavy. It's really heavy in the full context of itself and the greater context of like actual game development and history and that kind of a thing.
So try walking backwards. Yep, in this game you can only walk backwards.
I suppose this is played with mechanics a bit.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, geez.
So it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Code is trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
This is actually a little tricky. Okay.
When she stops, it becomes clear. Is that what that said?
Yes.
The future is always behind her.
How will she find the strength
Interesting.
to confront it? There's no door.
It's a
The
short
door is
little
gone.
thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need
Bam.
anything more than that.
That's
Which
it.
to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
I would agree with that.
Very, very short radius of... You are now entering the Twilight Zone. No, wait.
No narration here, by the way.
So far, yeah. Whoa!
And that's
Uh-oh.
it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
Wow, this is fascinating.
Oftentimes, Coda would put
It
bizarre
is.
titles like this one at the start of his games.
Nonsense in nearly every
I wish I'd known him
direction.
at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
This is me.
I know it's
being
tempting,
the
but
kind
there's
of game
actually
player.
nothing over here.
Uh-huh.
Sorry.
Ah! He called me out! He called me out, Scott!
I would have done the exact same thing. Oh, because if you've played games for too long, you know the obvious route is not the first
It's
route
not
you
the
should
first
take.
route. Yes, absolutely. I am getting slower.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
Much.
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
And there you go.
Play as the camera filling.
You are the queen. Whoa, there's so much.
Yes, there's quite a bit going on here. Key in one game unlocks a door in a completely separate
A
game.
room that's warm and nice and filled with little ideas for games.
Do you realize you can just walk?
Oh, that's what that is. Okay, interesting.
Game
Coda
of
would
only
often tell
motivation
me that
plus
he
fear.
didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
Okay, so he's a master of narration. And that was already apparent with Stanley Parable. If you've played it, it was he did a really good job there. But we walked into that room and we were able to take a moment to try and figure this out for ourselves first. And then, like, gave us enough time to read a few of those sentences, like, what is going on here? What are these things? And then he told us what it was.
Yeah.
Right? He allowed us to stew in it. And that's good narration.
So I think I'm actually going to stop us here now because we've got a couple more games to move on to. But that's just the first, we played like 20 minutes, I think, or so of this.
I think so, yeah.
Game. If you're
I'm intrigued.
If you're intrigued, I highly recommend picking up and playing it through, and then be prepared to have a very lengthy conversation afterwards because you're going to need it. It's not. I'm not necessarily saying it's sad or scary, but it's heavy. It's just really heavy.
Interesting.
And you need to talk about it with somebody after you play it.
There's a couple interesting chats. So it's almost something akin to taking a play-along lecture class. And I would totally take this class. And also, there's something really profound about being both a player, but in a conversation directly with the designer. And I completely agree with that. That is very profound. That was both from Elizabeth. So, yeah, I would love to play this game. I mean, you know what? I knew I probably would coming into this. Okay. Just because I also loved the Stanley Parable.
Let's see here. I'm trying to pull up.
I think so let's identify the experiment there. The experiment was the narration and how to tell the story. That's my takeaway.
Give me a second. I've got...
Oh, my audio dropped.
Let me just turn this off for a second. Okay. We should be good. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Let's identify the experimentation there.
Oh, hang out 1 second.
You good? Oh no. What happened, Scott?
Check 1, 2.
I can hear you.
Okay. I'm back. Okay. I'm back. Sorry about that. Where were we? We were trying to identify the experimentation, right?
Identify the experimentation, yes.
Right. So I feel that this was an experiment on how to tell a story. This is an experiment on narration and also just weird stuff in game design, I guess. What are your thoughts?
Yeah,
I mean, you, I think it's tainted because you've played it all the way through.
Right. But I will say that there's a very personal story being told, and it's interesting because there's almost like I'm trying to not give away much more. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely comment in the thread definitely about empathy.
Absolutely. I like that.
Absolutely. Empathy is a huge theme in there, but it might not be the empathy you expect it to be. Again, twist. But we'll have that conversation some other time. But yeah, there is a I don't know how to talk about it without revealing anything. It's hard. It's hard.
Well, let's just talk about that empathy thing. Maybe we can just leave it hanging there, right?
Yeah.
So I'm very intrigued by that because empathy is something that is extremely powerful and is a huge motivator for me. And that is something that I feel is very lacking, that feeling, that emotion of empathy or that showing of empathy is very lacking in our mainstream video games today, right? It's more of do the action. I don't want to say, shoot them and stuff like that because there's a lot of other different kind of video games, but there's more of I'm taking these actions for my own selfish needs. And usually when empathy is attempted in video games, it's boring. right? It's much more fun to it's much more fun to in Skyrim, for example, to sneak into somebody's house and steal everything that you need and not even think about what that meant for that poor farmer. Right?
Because in terms of the game, it didn't mean anything for them.
That's right. In terms of the game, it didn't. Right. So it teaches the player that empathy is not important. So I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued by that.
Yeah. It's a good story of empathy. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Okay. So next up, we're gonna look at Narbacular Drop, and I'm going to just start playing this one if I can find where it went. Uh-oh. Did it go away? Maybe I just need to open it again. Okay, there it is. There's a real problem with this one because I can't get out of the game window. Even like the Windows key doesn't do it for me, so I have to like as soon as I do that, it closes the window. So sharing this is actually going to be very difficult. Let me see here. Chicken or the egg problem. Okay. Open. Go to. Tab out. There we go. Okay, I was able to tab out of it. Okay, let's go to our game show here. Let me start. I'll stream this to you, Scott. See if that's working. And let me see if I can get this to stream. Let's see. Capture a window. Oh, not that one. That one. Okay.
Just let everyone know there are so many things he's struggling right now. Trying to get everything all set up.
Okay.
It's looking good on YouTube.
Yeah, is it working on streaming to you?
Paused. But if you can't get it to work, it's okay.
Okay. Bring that audio down a little bit. That looks a little like it's a little there. That's probably better. Okay. Here we go. I think we've got it. Audio coming through okay, Scott, on YouTube?
On YouTube, yes.
Okay. So this is the first time for me playing this, so let's see what happens here. Once upon a time, there lived a beautiful princess. Whoa, that was way too fast. Okay. Oh my gosh. Well, moving. Okay, forward, backward, looking.
That's the experiment of this game is speed reading. How fast can you read?
Look up, look right, left, down. Okay, I hope this works. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3 change cameras or the space. Okay. Portaling. Q, create red portal, create blue portal. This looks weirdly familiar, doesn't it? We'll talk about that in a second. Okay.
Yes. This is not a metallic. Just this is
polishing up. Escape the cage, then press and hold both buttons. Okay.
How do you escape the cage?
Ooh, here we go.
Whoop.
Oh, look at that. What? I just went through it. That's a very familiar mechanic, isn't it?
Wow, Kayla, you got out of there. That was a triumph.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a note here. It's a huge success.
Huge success. That was really good, by the way. Well done, sir. Very, very, very well done. That was a triumph. Oh my gosh, it was so good. All right.
So yeah, this is the game that inspired Portal, right?
Yes. So this was developed by a team. It was a class project, I believe, and they went and did a presentation, and at that presentation was one of the Valve co-founders, and they saw this presentation, loved the game idea, and said, "Hey, can you come? We'll hire you to make a game like this." And lo and behold, they created Portal. I thought that was going to work.
Oh, I like the.
Wait, here we go. Got it. The door is
Nice.
opening to the next level.
Nice work.
Thank you. Admiring my Portal skills.
Yes.
The hallway to hell. So yes, that was very beginning. And if you'll notice, there was actually... that puzzle was almost the same as the opening of the Portal game, right? Because there was...
It really was.
You're in the cage, but then it gives you the portal and you walk through it. And then one of the first things you do is you end up like putting the block on the button. That's one of the first things that happens, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. That's very true. Yeah, that's very true.
And I have to say, like, I hadn't played this before just now, and I was curious, like how it was going to handle how it was going to feel like real old school or something like that. But actually, the way that the portal mechanic works, it's very smooth. Like it feels just like transitioning through a portal in the game Portal. Like it's not a problem at all. I was very surprised by that, actually.
I know this game, and I knew it was the original inspiration to. Oh, look at that! Wow, you're up there. I knew it was the original inspiration to Portal, but I had also imagined that it was rougher on the edges. But it doesn't look like it really is.
It doesn't. I mean, I'm very impressed. Oh my gosh!
So,
lava turtles are friendly creatures.
Why weren't there any lava turtles?
I know, seriously.
So next time you are at a height, I'm curious to know
that does not work for me.
Ooh. Oh, is that a third-person camera?
Yes, it is, and it's. I am not here for it. I'm not here for it. Oh goodness! Because you can go to a third-person camera. That's not too bad, but then you can go to like it's like a wall camera position from like.
Yeah, it looks like old school Resident Evil.
That's what I was thinking. Old school Resident Evil, like with the terrible camera angle things.
You just need tank controls behind that.
Now, this makes me curious. I wonder if they intended on doing that with the Portal game, because you know how there are those cameras everywhere during Portal?
Yes, you're right.
I wonder if they originally intended to put that in there. That's interesting.
We have a hilarious comment saying, "Is this running off of a Quake mod or something?" It looks like it.
It does. It sure does.
But you know, this is an old game, so you have to think Portal's old itself.
Oh no! Oh
in
no!
This game, how do you get by it?
I don't know. I don't know how I get by it.
So this game.
Okay. Go ahead.
Oh, all the way back to
it sends you all the way back
so
to the beginning.
Portal is an old game itself. And before you fall down here, I want to try something. Portal's an old game itself. So this game has to predate it by at least a couple years.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So what does that put us? Pre-2010?
Oh, it has to be pre-2010.
Yeah, when was Portal?
So you have a better, more readily accessible to a browser than I do.
Yeah,
so
I do, don't I?
do find out for me.
So anyway, it is a pretty old game. So I'm curious if it also has the inertia or the continued velocity. If you fall down,
Ooh, good question. Oh shoot.
because that's a huge mechanic in Portal.
Yeah, so if I look up, I put one up on the, I put it down here.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, totally. It totally does.
Does it really?
Absolutely. Yeah, it absolutely has the velocity increase.
So now, if you shoot, like you're going really fast and you shoot against a wall for your exit, does that have that same velocity out? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. No, I totally. Okay.
And if so, they really thought this through. Those
They
students
really
thought this
did. That's there. I just fired against the
really?
far wall.
So I'm wondering if in future levels of this very game, they had basically everything that Portal needed.
I don't know how to
Minus
get past
turtles.
This. Oh wait. Oh, it follows where I point it.
Oh, it's just looking at your camera. Okay,
It's just
going
following
towards
my
the
camera. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Oh! I keep trying to jump with the space bar. Yeah! Oh my gosh. A thing moved. I was very surprised.
They
Wow.
look harmless though. What are those?
I don't know.
Are those basically the companion cubes but movable?
Yeah, I don't know. He seems to be ignoring me.
This is the original concept of floor is lava. Yes, it is.
Oh, what do we
Floor
got
is
here?
lava, and your couch cushions are lava turtles.
Wait, we'll find something heavy to weigh down these two buttons.
Ah, well, there's yourself.
There's one button, and there's another button.
I
And
bet
there's-
it's those guys that you.
Oh, that could be interesting. That
Yeah.
could be interesting.
So you're going to have to either drop them in there or
Oh, I'm totally gonna have
get
to drop
them
in
to.
there.
So they're walking in a straight line the whole
Yes.
time,
So
right?
if
So
I
you
put
have
it
to get
like
them to walk in it.
maybe a little back further. No, too far. Let's try that. Okay. That looks like it's a good shot. So only do that one. Actually, I could test it. Oh yeah, that's perfect.
It's the same colors as Portal 2.
It is. It absolutely is.
Oh, try. No, he has to walk into it on the wall. Oh, or maybe you can. Oh, there you go. You got it.
I got him. He is freaking
But
out.
he's not.
Oh my gosh. He's spitting.
I mean, you'd freak out too, wouldn't you?
I suppose I would freak out. Oh shoot, I just realized that I need to position the other one, right?
Yeah, it's true.
So I should position it. Yeah, I think that's probably good.
Working as intended. Yes.
All right, now I gotta go find the other one. I'm not sure what happened there.
So was that on a wall, or no? That's part of the. Oh no! So that was on the wall, and you put a portal in that wall.
Oh, hold on a second. I need to go into it.
Yes, that's true. You do. Good point. But will it stay on? What does it actually do?
I don't know. Oh wait, there we go.
Oh, okay, it worked.
Oh no. Help this lava turtle get into the lava, and he may let you ride on his back.
Oh, that is-
It is a lava turtle.
Thank goodness they told us that.
Can I push him? I don't think I can push him into the... Come on. Go. Physics. Clearly a couple of issues still.
Yes. Remember when I said that, it was a pretty well built game.
I can't put it under because there's metal.
No, you can't. No.
That's a problem. Come on, go.
How about the?
And I just fell in the lava. Well, we're coming up on 3 o'clock here, so that's probably. Oh my gosh, there's a boulder. Oh, I totally missed that there was a boulder right there.
Oh, there wasn't one there before.
I don't remember there being a boulder, but
so now that's how you solve it. You get the boulder in the hole,
right,
and then you get that guy into the lava. Yeah.
Well, cool.
But that is fascinating.
It is. It's so close.
It works a lot better than I thought it would.
Yeah.
It's like I've known of this game for a long time. I've never played it before myself, but I always have known it as a college project, right? And really nothing more than that. And I knew it was scooped up pretty early, but I didn't realize it was this well built. In fact, when I saw that it was one of the games that was chosen, I had wondered, how are we going to get it?
Right.
I seriously wondered, like, how are we going to get this game to play?
This level is different. This is not the same level as it was before. There's no way.
It is, really?
No, because I went down this hallway, but there was no boulder down this hallway.
No, there was not any boulder. Can a boulder crush you? So this is definitely an experiment in mechanics.
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
there it
Oh my gosh, there were two of them. Oh boy. All right, I think I'm going to be done with this now. But yeah, very, very interesting. Yeah, an experiment in mechanics that, I mean, wow. I mean, Portal was so hugely, was a game changer game. I mean,
It really was, yeah.
yeah. Wow. That's so neat. Oh, I just realized, I'm so sorry, Scott. Your face has been...
I'm down here. It's okay.
Because when I stream it to you, it adjusts the location of the head.
Oh, is that why it does that? Okay.
But then the streaming didn't work on this one, and so I forgot. Yeah, anyway. There's a lot of
because
things
you
going
have
on here.
you have 100 things to remember to do. It's okay.
Yeah, no kidding. Yes, so the precursor to Portal, which Portal was such a huge game, and also talk about interesting narrative things going on as well. The narrative on that one was clearly there, but it lasted for about 0.5 seconds a frame, and couldn't read any of it.
If the people watching want, they can go back and pause.
There you go. Yeah, because it's recorded for your convenience now. Excellent. Yeah, I believe it involves Princess No Knees. So yeah, very cool, very interesting. I am blown away by how solid of an implementation they had going in already with this game. Really interesting.
Because this was built... So I'm curious to know how they built it. This had to have been pre-Unity days, or at least pre when Unity was as big as it is today days, I would think. So they put that inertia in there, the acceleration in there. They really thought about a lot of these little mechanics and how these two things, how these two portals can work together. They really, I can see them sitting together and going through some whiteboard sessions to really get this right. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of hard to talk about because everyone knows what Portal is today. But
I know, right?
That is a very, very interesting mechanic.
I was trying to see if the DigiPen website had a indication of what was used, but I don't see a note about it.
So yeah, Portal was released in 2007. So this probably puts us back 2005-ish.
May
I would
1st,
say.
2005 is the release date for
Is it really?
Yep.
Okay. So then
First
they
episode.
were working on this 2005, 2004.
Yep. Yeah, because this would have been the final project for the course.
That's right.
What's interesting is, that could have been just a semester course, or maybe they did pre-work on it leading up to it. But yeah, that's really neat. I'm really surprised. Not like in a bad way. Like, wow, how did you guys do this?
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
Like,
yeah,
no, I'm legitimately floored. This was an incredible project that obviously went on to create an incredible game. So wow, that's really cool. Like, see, I mean, don't never discount the work that you're doing at school, because
absolutely.
I mean, this is probably more rare of an occurrence, but still a shining, work hard when you're in school, because it will make a difference in your life. That's great.
That's true. Yeah. Another game that we did in a Let's Play was a class project, Outer Wilds.
Was that a class project?
It was. It was a school project.
That is interesting. Very cool. Let's see here. Okay, let's go ahead. Where are we? We are... Let's see. Time for Proteus. Let's pull up Proteus. Okay, if I... Let's see. Hit play. That should automatically capture it. Oh, to change this to full screen. Aha. Will it capture it? That is the question. Yes. Okay, now I just need to turn on the audio, because the audio is key for this experience.
You got audio on YouTube, yes.
And let me go ahead and share. You should be able to see the directly.
Thumbs up. It's working.
I'm gonna fix your
And paused.
head again. Okay. Okay. I think I got all of the things.
You got all the
I got
all the things in the
all
things.
The things.
In the things, in the row of things with the things.
Okay.
It's looking good.
Awesome. Okay, so this is
I am
Proteus.
going in blind on this one.
Really? You've never played Proteus? Okay.
I've never played it, yeah.
This is by Ed K. and David Kanga. Click on the island to begin. Here we go. All right. Now let's start making our way to the fog. Now notice, what do you hear right now?
Let me turn it up. Hold on. Water.
Yeah, basically nothing. It's very quiet.
Yeah, it is very quiet. Hear lapping water. And a little bit of mysterious woodwind type sounds. Or a music track.
Let me turn it up just a little bit.
Ooh, there's something there. I love the pixelated petals on the ground.
So great.
It is. This is a beautiful game.
Using that old Atari style graphics.
Right.
Okay, so let me tell you what's going on here, because it may not be immediately obvious at first. As you move around the island, everything that you see makes a sound.
Oh, that does not come through. That's probably one of those things that you must experience in order to connect to.
Yeah. So as you come up on the trees have a particular sound. The things on the ground have a particular sound, the rocks and the petals.
So as you were swimming up to the island, and I could hear what I thought was a soundtrack fading in. That was the island itself fading in.
Mm-hmm.
I see. That's interesting.
And so it's basically just you walk around and you get to listen to the island singing you a song.
Neat.
You hear some of those lower notes now.
That's really cool. That's like a different way of traversing a landscape. And it's obviously something that is different or prominent up at the top of that hill.
Start hearing those lower...
Exactly, yeah. Synthetic string or choir.
Now we back into the valley where it's got the...
And yeah, that is interesting. So definitely know that there's something different up there. Or is it just elevation?
Elevation might play a role in it, but it's also the things around.
Oh, well, so it's not just elevation, because that is very different. Very synthetic sounding too, which is neat.
Pulling again on those old Atari.
And it goes with the aesthetics. Oh, interesting.
Listen to the plinking.
So you can hear is that the rain that is making kind of like the, I want to say xylophone type.
Yeah.
But they're more like bells. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's really neat.
I like the clouds are cutting through the trees. That's a cool effect. Ooh. So this is just a very pleasant feeling.
Yes.
I don't know if the entire game's like that, but seeing those chickens make that sound, or I don't know if they were chickens or not, but seeing those chickens make that sound, and then that frantic sound of them running away from you, that was really cool. Ooh, what was that?
I think it was the birds again.
Okay, yeah, you can hear them run. So now you experience it the first time. All you did was hear them running away, and you knew what it was.
Yep.
Ooh, whoa, that is different. I knew we'd be coming across something.
Yeah.
Is the house making the cricket sound?
No, I think that's the night.
Of course it is. Yes, because what other sound equates to nighttime?
I think we'll be able to get to the next part of it.
And, again, something with the pleasantness that I'm experiencing, at least. I can tell you that it's a very personal, nostalgic feeling for me of summer insect noises, of crickets and cicadas. Oh, look at that. That's neat.
Little frog.
chicken chaser. That's from a different game.
See if I can come up here. Yeah.
No, Jason's. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was saying I've played this game through probably upwards of 5 times, just showing it to people because I think it's such a cool experience.
This is definitely a headphone game. And that's definitely the sound of being on top of a snowy mountain, right there. So that is cool. I'm putting myself in the developer shoes now, and I can think of coming up with a design document of like, okay, I have 3 or 4 different biomes that I want to include, and I have these different objects. Now I have to think what sound and music means that. And we all it's a very difficult thing to do. We all instinctively know it when we hear it, like the crickets. But it's one of those things like taste. It's one of those things that are very difficult to connect to unless you're an expert and you're schooled in it. It's very difficult to think, okay, what does sound like summer evening? Wow, that was neat. Oh, you gonna step into it? Oh, so does just that stepping inside there? Oh no, interesting.
And now it's summer.
Oh, it was spring before with these flowers on the trees.
Yeah. So now everything makes different sounds and different noises.
Too cool.
Little cattail things. And trying to see if I can find... Oh, it's over here. Here's the big tree.
Ooh, that's the big tree. So was that big tree in spring?
I think so. I just may have moved around past it. And they're just fun and pleasant.
This is, yes.
It's just totally so great. And just depending on how the random generation builds things out, you hear different combinations and things. You got the buzzing of the bees.
Oh, listen to that. That's great. Oh, and they're following you too, aren't they?
Oh.
Oh, what happened?
Teleported.
I think you did too. Where's that? Bagpipes?
Something like that. Oh, that's cool. I think I just discovered a teleportation tool.
Oh,
you like come up close to this, and so that it blocks out your vision, teleports you. Wow. Didn't know that actually.
That's very cool that you can have played a game. It's something with a lot of different things in it, and you're still discovering something new. That's neat. Space Invaders or crabs.
Probably crabs, but yeah. So
this developer, every little thing in this game, this developer had to think, how does this thing sound? How does flower sound? How does a blossoming tree in spring sound? How does a crab sound? How does a chicken running away from you sound? That's amazing.
I think there is something that the circle does, like the circle of these characters does, when you.
It must.
If you come here at night, I think that's when it triggers something.
It's got to do something.
Oh, look at those things off at the distance. They're little flying guys.
Oh yeah, what are that? What is that?
I'm not sure.
Huh.
They're really high up. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be.
Yeah, how would you be able to hear them?
Played this game through so many times and I still just love it so much. Oh, but yeah,
Ooh,
wow.
What is that? I'm a little scared to hear what.
It's like a graveyard.
I'm scared to hear what a graveyard sounds like. I don't really notice anything different. Ooh,
Super frog.
or a wisp. That's what I thought.
Oh, there you go.
Like a little wisp. I'm also interested to know, during play testing, when did the developer come across moments that it was sensory overload too much? Like, is there a balance of too many
density.
chickens running away from you, and she's like, I gotta take these headphones off. It's too much.
That's interesting.
You know what I mean? There has to be a balance because I can see it becoming overwhelming. Oh, where'd it
Yeah.
go?
I'm not sure. I think there has to be a density calculation of
Yes.
like how many things is too many things, and
Yeah. You can only have 6 chickens. I keep going back to the chickens. You can only have 6 chickens at once. And if you have any more, the sound is overwhelming. Or only one frog at a time in one area, or else it becomes overwhelming. Because I am getting the sense that this is meant to be a peaceful walking simulator.
mm-hmm.
That this is meant to be something to experience, enjoy, or get joy out of. And I think that's a better way of putting it rather than enjoy. They almost mean the same thing, but a little different. And just be at peace with. And so there would be a very challenging balance to make that peaceful.
I love that you can see the elliptical plane.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That goes
I love
along
that
there.
too. Wow. I feel like I should talk in a soft tone.
Oh, there's a little black bird
Look
over
at the
there.
moonrise. And the stars in the sky. The crickets is fantastic. The summer insects.
Oh yeah, here we go. Here we go.
Ooh. Oh, this is what you were talking about. You were waiting for this.
Yeah.
Oh, and the sounds are oscillating too.
Yeah.
The pitch is going up and down.
Yeah. And there's the teleport that'll take you to the next season, but yeah.
So if you
anyway.
step outside of the circle, does it stop?
Yeah, it should. Let's go back.
It does. Look at that.
But yeah, so this is Proteus. It's a really nice place to just retreat to and hang out in.
You stressed at work? Take a lunch. Play this for a little bit.
Yeah.
When was this made?
Oh, good question. I feel like I should have looked all of these up.
Oh, that's older than I thought. January 2013.
Yeah, I mean, I was playing this in college, so.
Oh, okay, gotcha. And that was so long ago.
Ah. Probably want to jump to the next game here, but this is
Probably,
fall.
yeah.
So you hear the leaves falling from the trees.
Yes, you can. Very cool.
So I'll leave y'all to find play Winter for yourselves. But yeah, so this is Proteus.
Oh, and you go to sleep. When, is that you leaving the game, or is that just a function you can do?
This is the escape key. I thought it was going to take me to the main menu, but there we go.
Except to fall asleep long enough.
All right. There we go.
That is something special.
Really neat. So yeah, so that is the game, which is taking this core idea of just the music composition of the items around you to create an experience of just sitting in this environment, and I think it does a really nice job of it.
That is fantastic. So we have so far, we've got an experiment in narration, an experiment in mechanics, an experiment in audio.
Yeah. So
nice job picking the games, guys.
Yeah,
I have to say,
absolutely.
That is a breadth of different types of experimentations.
Let's queue up our next one.
Getting over it. This is going to be fun.
All right, share with you. Getting over it. Make sure that's sharing correctly. Are you able to see that? Doesn't look like that's sharing correctly to you.
It's not sharing the correct window.
Yeah, that's weird. Well, let me get it actually sharing on here first. Okay. Well,
yeah, I think that sounds good. Get it all set up on YouTube first.
Okay, it's set up on YouTube now. And
excellent.
Should I bother with sharing it to you, or just do it on YouTube?
You go ahead, and I'll be a second or two behind. You can just stick to YouTube. It's fine.
I'll try sharing to Discord just 1 second, real quick again, just to see if I can.
While he's doing that, just let everybody know there is a second or two behind. So to complicate it more, he streams it to me live. At the same time, he's also streaming it to YouTube, which is a couple seconds behind. So if I'm wanting to do effective commentary, I have to see it live.
Is that working now? I think it looks like it's working.
Working now. It's working good, yeah.
Okay, so here we go. Oh. I am a dude in a... Oh boy. What have I got myself into here?
Have you seen this game before?
I've seen like just very brief clips.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh boy.
And there's your mechanic.
Okay. So, wow, look at those arms. This is some serious arms.
That's true. I don't think I'd be able to lift the hammer myself.
Okay, wait, come on. Okay, lift me up.
Are you already at something that you have to get over?
Yes.
And it's a tree.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so it is important, the order of operations here. So
you're doing a good job.
Come on. Here we go. Oh yeah. Okay.
One sticky hammer.
Holy moly. This is Oh yeah.
Nice. Well
I got over a tree. I feel completely accomplished with my life.
Can you describe how you're controlling this dude?
Yes. Okay. So this is really interesting. It's I'm not actually sure if. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm not actually sure. Okay. Yeah. Clicking. Okay. So this is not clicking. This is just moving the mouse. Okay.
Just moving the mouse. Wow.
Where the circle is where my mouse is. And so wherever I move it, his arms are moving in actually a very dynamic way to sort of account for where that is. Okay.
And it's pretty smooth. I know. I see exactly what you're saying. Did that water spill out of that thing?
Maybe. That
anyway
is questionable. Okay. I'm just not going to think about it. But I can lower this.
Yeah.
Slowly, and I can lower myself. Okay, this is very,
There's
very
no feeling
touchy.
more intense than starting over.
Than starting over.
You deleted your homework the day before it was due, as I have. Or if you left your wallet at home, and you have to go back after spending an hour in the commute.
Interesting.
If you won some money at the casino, and then put all your winnings on red, but it came up black.
Playing on red and it came
If you
up
got your best
black.
shirt
Yep.
dry cleaned before a wedding, and then immediately dropped food on it. If you
And
won
then
an
immediately
argument
drop
with
it
a
on the
friend,
food.
and then later discovered that they just returned to their original view. Starting over is harder than starting
Ooh.
up. If you're not ready for that, like if you've already had a bad day, then what you're about to go through might be too much. Feel free to go away and come back. I'll be here.
Okay. Wow. The finesse of this is incredible.
Yeah, so
and
if
you
it,
can only go
go-
back so far. There's an innermost diameter that you can move your hammer, which does affect things. You have to be just
there's
really
limitations.
slow. Oh, geez. Gotta be really slow and really careful.
Okay, everybody. Caleb's gonna go quiet while he concentrates.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Come on. I don't have enough space on my mouse pad. There we go. Yeah.
Nice. So I can see since the hammer just follows your mouse no matter what. Oh
Yes.
my gosh, how are you gonna do that? It
Pretty
follows
much.
your mouse no matter what. You can easily make a mistake.
Oh, easily. Easily.
So you can be getting towards the top of something and then just move your mouse a
Just
little
a
bit, and the
hair
hammer
too
just
much.
throws you off into a different direction.
Absolutely. That's what happened to me earlier.
Is
I
it?
just
Is that what
moved
happened?
a little bit
I
too
wondered.
much. Oh, come back. Come back. I like that the warning is like, if you are already struggling, if you're already frustrated, don't play this game. Oh my
All right.
gosh.
Thanks for coming with me on this trip.
I have heard
I'll
that this game is
understand if you have to take a break at any
extremely
point.
difficult.
Just find a safe place to stop and quit the game.
And you're gonna have to
Don't worry,
position yourself
I'll save your
perfectly
progress
so you can
always,
reach that
even your
ore.
mistakes.
Oh
no!
Oh boy.
You know what? You know what else is interesting in the design of this? I know, Caleb. I know you and I like to talk about how to play for
Yes.
a player, right? Like little tutorials that aren't really tutorials. This game rips the Band-Aid off quick.
Oh, it sure did. That tree, like,
That tree, yeah, I expected like a couple boulders to get over,
right.
right? And just like a little
It
hill,
wasn't
but
really.
no, it made you go vertical right away. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. And there's a comment from Elizabeth that this is an experiment in small, which I think that's fantastic.
Okay, I'm in a really good spot here. I'm in a
Yes, you
really
are.
good spot here.
You can do it. Hook on. Oh my gosh, you did
Now
it.
down.
Nicely
Now
done.
slowly down. Slowly down.
That has to be moving the mouse in small motions like that is not easy.
I just realized, I bet I could hit my... There's a button I can hit on my mouse to change... not that one. To change how much movement.
Oh, sensitivity.
Yeah, the sensitivity on my mouse.
Ah,
That's
that
too
would
low,
be
though.
very. Except you're gonna have to have a bigger mouse pad.
I actually have a pretty big mouse pad, thanks to my brother, amazingly enough. Okay. And just going to put myself gently down. Nope, nope, nope. Come on. Come on. Come on. Gently. Okay.
Would not recommend playing this game on a phone. No, my goodness.
No, absolutely not.
So
This game
When
is a
you're
homage to a
hooked
free game that
onto
came out in
something-
2002, titled Sexy Hiking. The author of
Sexy
that game
what?
was Jazuo,
Hiking.
a mysterious Czech designer who was known at the time as the father of B
interesting.
games.
So when you're
Games
hooked
are
onto
rough
something, so
assemblages
I
of
can see
found
the mouse
Designers
movement
slap them together
tracks the
very quickly
hammer
and
pretty
freely.
well.
And they're
Yes.
often too
When
rough
you're
and unfriendly to
latched
get much of
onto a
quality.
thing,
They're built more
I have
for the
two
joy of
questions.
building them
Does
than as
the
polished
camera center on that hammer? And
No.
oh no!
Oh, no.
And then the mouse movement is you're basically moving the camera at that point. Oh, that's hard. And then the next question I have is like, how do you detach something? Just like,
so it's just by raising the hammer off of it. So you see here what's
Okay.
happening is that there's it's getting a hook on it, but then it's sliding.
yeah. So,
So
how do you
somehow I have to like launch myself up.
Oh
I don't know how I'm gonna be able to do that.
I was waiting for that.
I don't know how I'm gonna be able to do that. Let me see. Because it's rewarded small movements so far.
Exactly. Well, so try going.
Oh no!
Try experimenting something here.
Okay.
Can you just go straight down to launch yourself straight up?
Can I go?
I wonder if that's
straight
what you
down?
need to do there.
Oh whoa! I can! Scott, you figured something out. That's interesting.
Now you're gonna play fast just the whole time.
Ah. That's interesting. So I can just launch myself. Oh, jeez. I can launch myself pretty high, actually.
Yeah, you can. I wonder if that. Oh my gosh, how'd you do that?
Very,
Excellent job,
carefully.
nicely done.
Thank you. I
So
just gotta-
to get over that, what looked like a doghouse or whatever that was, I'm wondering if that's
Yeah.
what you have to do.
That's you might be right. Come on, lower. Okay, there we go.
It looked like you were going to slide off.
I
that
know.
boulder.
I know.
So this is an
Wow.
experiment, not just in mechanics, but in frustration.
Patience.
And how, I wonder if they have a counter going on in the background.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Until how long until people rage quit? Ooh, look at that.
Okay,
Ooh. You saved yourself.
I did. Very barely, but I did save myself. Come on, a little bit more. Okay. Okay, here we go. Ready?
Go for it. You can do it.
Ah!
Oh, Well, how long do you want to torture yourself?
I don't know, but oh boy. Okay, I think that might
So,
I might stop
take a-
there.
Take a breather and talk about how fluid it feels.
Okay.
And,
So
because I'm
movement of
having
the
a hard
hammer-
time detecting that.
Yeah, so the movement of the hammer is pretty fluid. I mean, it's responsive, but the thing you have to the thing that trips you up is that the hammer always has to actually move in physical space, right? So
Yeah.
if I move my mouse over here, the hammer is still going to go in that whole pattern, and you have to care about everywhere that hammer is going to move. And so the hammer is
Yeah, that's
never
true.
going to come within this sphere. It'll never move closer than this sphere around the character. And so if I have to move here to here, it's either got to go up and over my body or down and under. And it will take whichever movement. And the inertia here is really because the hammer itself,
Yeah, I
it'll
see
pull
now.
you.
It also it doesn't really matter that much, but if you think about it, when you're spinning around in circles like that, one of his arms has to cross through the
Yeah.
handle of the hammer.
Well, except he does this little thing where he adjusts. Oh, but it totally does cross through it.
It has
It
to.
absolutely has to. So I mean, this
My
is
wrist hurt looking at that.
well, this is a dude in a pot, so I figure we can suspend disbelief a little bit here.
Yeah, that's true. It doesn't matter.
Ugh. Yeah, so it's very fluid, but yeah, it's realizing that hammer is always going to move in, and that hammer is ultimately the thing
Yeah.
that's really important. the hammer and where the bottom of the pot is. Those are the two things that actually matter. Pretty much everything else is just... The hitbox is pretty generous above, because he'll squat down a little bit, and so you'll get a little bit of room. You'll get a little bit of room on the hitbox going up. But the pot, it's not going to move at all, so... But and there's a good weight on it, and so it's it's really interesting. It's you can do that thing where you push.
Wow, you got some real good air there.
Yeah, there's some good air.
Oh.
So I have to move the mouse down here. So if I go up, he'll lower, and if I move it down, it's basically
right.
I think how that's working is it's basically where am I putting the pressure on, which actually is very intuitive. I think if it would have been the opposite, it would have been very awkward. But
absolutely, I think that it would be intuitive to go down. I think so.
He has this little what when you move quickly.
Oh, does he really?
Yeah. So it's a little off-putting because you're like, oh no.
I want to know how long this game is.
Yeah, I mean, like seriously.
I hope it's not that long. Especially since the difficulty curve did go up pretty fast, but I also fear exactly how difficult this game really does
hit the escape
become.
key if you need to change the mouse sensitivity.
Well, that's good to know.
Oh, yeah, so you can do what you were trying to do
Earlier, yeah.
Yeah,
Which,
just
frankly,
in game, which that's nice. That's
frankly,
good that the developers
I could
put that in.
probably. I'd be curious to tune that down a bit. Let's just see. That's certainly that could help. It won't. It won't help with. No, actually, I think I'll get less air.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I was thinking
the
the
much
opposite.
momentum.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying. Yeah, being able to move it faster instead of slower.
Yep,
I was
that's
thinking
what I thought.
Slower, just for the sake of. Oh yeah! I think I did it.
If you get up there, we can end the stream. Oh, nice. Thank goodness his arms don't push you off the wall. That'd be a little too much.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh no.
I would have gone all the way back to the bottom. Oh my gosh. See, this is where you can probably do one of these.
Yep. Nicely done.
In a certain way,
barrels.
sexy hiking is the perfect embodiment of a B game.
Yes.
It's built almost
Jason
entirely out
just
of
mentioned in the
foundry
chat,
recycled
watching this game gives me anxiety.
Playing this game gives me anxiety.
Watching it too.
In it, your task is
I can only
simply to train
imagine
yourself
what Caleb's
up
feeling
and
right now.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
digital world or in real life has certain essential properties.
But that
give
was
the game its
impressive.
No amount of forward progress is guaranteed. Some cliffs are too sheer
Is that
or
a
too slippery,
coffee cup?
and the
pretty
player
sure
is
that's a coffee cup.
constantly, unremittingly
Can
in
you
danger of
latch
falling and
onto the
losing
coffee
everything.
cup and the coffee cup not move?
Oh, and I'm all the way at the bottom. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh. Oh boy. Oh, woof. Oh. Okay. Next. And that's it.
We have time to play Chernobyl after all. What do you know?
Oh boy. Yikes, yikes. And we're done. Okay. So everyone, that was getting over it with Bennett Foddy. Wow. Whew. If there are speedrunners out there on this game, I am thoroughly impressed. Sisyphus would be proud. Ooh, my face hurts.
Oh, that was the rage quit moment.
That was the rage quit moment. I am done.
I would love to know the statistics on that. I hope they have something like, or if I was a developer, I would program in something that would say most people quit the game when they got to this percentage of the level.
Oh boy. Ooh, yeah. So that was a tough one because in a lot of ways, I think that the mechanic that they were trying to deliver on, they delivered on. But it's demoralizing, man. Oh. It's like to juxtapose that with Proteus, where it's just like, oh, this is like lovely and calm and wonderful. And it's just like, oh boy.
Hey, Caleb, do you need to bring up Proteus again? Just like for a minute.
Go back to it. Just go back to it.
Oh,
ooh, boy,
that's funny.
Now let's bring up our last one here, just because I feel like this would be a good way to round out our time.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I'm gonna have to share that because for whatever reason this game wants to use my vertical monitor every time for some bizarre reason. So I have to like, oh, come on. Oh, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, so I'm going to start with share my screen to you. So you should see it now. And is this picking it up? Let's see. We need to do a window capture. We're going to grab this. And we should be able to adjust the size of it. This one may also be anxiety inducing.
Yeah, but I think in a different way.
Uh-oh. That's not a very good... It's not a good capture.
Oh, no. It's looking good for me on Discord.
Yeah, okay, let me move that. Try... let's see here. Ooh, a window capture. Yeah, it doesn't like that.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah, that's weird. Okay.
Full screen?
Yeah, give me a second to... I see here. Okay. That was very strange what just happened there. I've got a bunch of weird things happening. Okay. Let me try again. From a... Where's the display capture? Okay, and then make sure that... Okay. Hey, wait. I think it's working. Except
yes.
that it's
confirmed.
It's in front of our faces. There we go. Okay. All right. It is sharing. Okay, so the thing that it showed right at the beginning, which we missed, it said that every second of the game it automatically saves, and so all of the choices that you make are permanent.
Oh wow!
Unless you start over. So it's like, so go slow, make intentional decisions.
Interesting.
Okay.
I like
So-
that right there. That's neat.
Yeah, so just to recap a little bit, this is retelling that story of these 3 individuals who went to, I believe they had to remove the water from a chamber. That was what the trick was. And actually, that's all in here. It goes through and it tells you what the main objective is. It's drain the water tanks, total of 6 valves, 4 on the main floor, 2 on the bottom floor. The bottom floor is sealed with heavy pressure until the 4 and so it's got these basically these sections you got to go through, and it gives you all of this kind of upfront about how to navigate everything and do everything. I don't want to go through all this right now, so I'm just going to go ahead and start the mission. We do have walking. You can run with shift. Flashlight is F. Interact with the mouse. Crouch and crawl with only one person. Drop, carry. Interesting.
But Valari is the only one that can crawl.
Apparently, yes.
Interesting.
Drop and carry. Drop is X.
Ooh.
Crawl, crouch.
Ooh.
Okay.
Carry. Ugh.
Yeah. Geiger counter. Proximity detection.
Ooh.
Maximum health. Radiation damage. Atmosphere radiation. Okay. I think that's enough for us to get our 10-minute
There has
preview,
been a
so-
nuclear accident in the Soviet Union, and the Soviets have admitted that it happened. The Soviet version is this. One of the atomic reactors at the Chernobyl atomic power plant near the city of Kiev was damaged, and there is speculation in Moscow that people were injured and may have died. The Soviets may have been fairly quick to acknowledge the accident because evidence, in the form of mild nuclear radiation, had already reached beyond the Soviet borders to Scandinavia.
Radio transmission, connected and working. To summarize, you've been chosen because of your expertise in locating valve systems, and reaching those water tanks are our last hope in containing this disaster. If you don't drain those water tanks, a steam explosion will create a radioactive fallout that will render Europe uninhabitable. It is a perilous journey to those valves, and if anything happens to you, we will guarantee your families are taken care of in your stead. Your country and I thank you for your selfless service. It's up to you 3 now.
Okay, so there's water, and that water will vaporize and turn into steam, and that will be highly radioactive steam, which will then be carried up into the atmosphere and rain radioactive down upon Europe.
I like the old footage that was used.
Which is
That's interesting.
okay, so we have... Okay, so this is the one who can crawl. This one is the one who can endure longer, and this is our electrician.
So I'm curious to know if... So this is based off of a very true event.
Mm-hmm.
Are those the real names of the 3 people who did this?
My assumption is yes. I haven't researched that, but my assumption is yes. Let's go ahead and just... This precise knowledge of electronics, the fuse box location, resetting the fuse boxes can turn on some electronics that could be beneficial. Okay. Right.
Oh, and you pulled right off of that computer.
Right off the computer.
Neat. And yes, I just confirmed that is the real names of those 3 individuals.
It's really annoying that my bar keeps popping up at the bottom. Oh, I have a flashlight.
So I have to ask you before you get too far. I'm trying to judge how it looks on your screen. Is it like
It's as bad as it looks on
PS1
yours.
grainy?
It's as bad as it is on yours. Yeah.
okay? So that is cool. Because it's nowhere near the same. Because
That was a little rough.
okay. So a
Flickering
video game of
lights.
that time would just be like 8-bit pixels, right? So, but it gives you a retro feel. It gives you a feel of the past, which is neat. That's cool. It has a huge flashlight.
Very interesting. Oops. No. Good. Leave. Okay.
So can you switch players?
Yes, you can switch between them, but you can only have one out at the same time.
Okay.
This is really crazy. Because this is like triggering all of my, oh my gosh, there's going to be alien sentimentalities.
Yeah.
We know that this is intended to be at least somewhat historically accurate, so that's not going to be the case.
Oh,
I don't know what I just did.
Very good use of color to tell you what you need to do. Something's bad here.
Okay.
And
there's
you need to
4.
interact with
Oh, there's the 4 locks. So that was one of the
okay.
locks.
it. Good use of colors there. Unless you are red-green colorblind.
Unless you are red-green colorblind. This flashlight is not very helpful.
I noticed that.
Like this is not really doing it for me, guys. Okay. So one of the things to be concerned about here is radiation, obviously. Oh, hey, look, there's a ladder.
Your Geiger counter is not. Whoa. Uh-oh.
I cannot get through here. It is closed.
Your Geiger counter is not moving so far.
Health station? What is this? Oh, these are lights.
Oh, so swap one out. Did your light fail?
No. I don't think so.
No,
it's okay.
Because the flashlight wasn't doing anything for you, right? Can you swap it out?
If you get close to something, you can see it. But it's just not very powerful.
No, not at all. I was just wondering if a fresh one was more powerful.
Wait, I'm starting
That
to get
is
something.
creepy.
I'm starting to get something. I don't know if I can handle this. This is... I'm like, oh boy. What's our time check?
You got 5 minutes. So... Oh, wow, look at that.
There's something going on over here. Something... Ooh.
I would imagine you'd have to try and stay out of the water.
Yeah, you're probably
So there's
right.
probably like a time puzzle, where if it's spraying and then you have to run through it.
Maybe.
Or is it always spraying?
No, it turned off for a second. Okay, here we go.
There you go. Now it goes. Oh no!
Well, that was bad. Whatever happened, that was bad.
Get out of there! Get out of there! Get out of there, Lexi! Get out of there!
Oh, jeez.
So if we remove the creepiness, there's puzzle mechanics in this game.
Yeah.
Things not
absolutely.
to touch, and things to dodge in a timed event, right?
Yeah.
And then you throw in the aesthetics, the creepy aesthetics to it.
So I wonder how much of this was like on purpose compared to not. You know?
What do you mean?
Well, like
I'm curious.
What it was built in, or
Oh yeah.
like what did they use to make it, and like were they intentionally trying to make it look like old and creepy and yeah.
Oh, you're getting sprayed.
I'm getting sprayed.
I would imagine it is 100% intentional.
Can I get a time check? I can't see what time it is.
3:57.
All right, let's call it quits.
I think you're good. Good.
Shoot.
So it would be. I'm very intrigued in this game just because I like the creepy effect, and also it's a very interesting story too. So it would be neat to know where they take it, and I'm interested to know what switching the characters does for you.
Yeah.
Very, very old school, or sorry, not old school. The gamer in me is thinking that each engineer has their own strengths and weaknesses.
Mhm. That does seem to be the case. Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not.
Well, I mean, it says like one has a greater endurance, one's the electrician, and one has the crouching, crawling ability.
So that's right. Only one can crawl. You're right.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to know if one's with less endurance, the one with more endurance has to carry the other guy out, which that would be pretty heavy in itself. Heavy emotional, I'm saying. Especially since it is based on real events.
This game was built using Unreal Engine, if you can believe that.
Was it based on Unreal?
Uh-huh.
The lighting. It's the lighting for Unreal. That's interesting.
That's very interesting. Wow.
So what's the experiment with that one? So we had a couple mechanics, a couple for audio, right? And for narration. So this one, I'm having a hard time pinpointing it other than it's taking a real event and gamifying it. I think not taking it as like the movie Titanic or something like that, where it's romanticized and turned into a movie for movie's sake, right? So is this an experiment in telling that real world story? I cut you off. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I actually think that you're nailing it on the head. Like, I think the idea behind this kind of an experimentation game is as a tool to communicate that experience. I mean, you know, I recognize it was still a game, but like, it's dark, it's creepy, there's radiation, you've got all of the things that are telling you, like, dark, creepy, radiation, you're gonna die, like, be careful. It's really giving you that sort of visceral experience of, oh my gosh, like, there are real stakes here, and I feel that real stakes. And this is about 3 people who actually lived, who actually had to go do this. I didn't end up actually looking up what happened to them. Presumably,
so I didn't look it up, but I did watch the limited series HBO show, which was fantastic. Anyone should watch it. It was a really good show. They stuck to most things factual, but they did embellish a couple things, and they did get a couple things wrong. But they lived long, healthy lives after they were done.
Yeah, I was reading a comment. Somebody playing the game had left a review and said they were trying to get the historically correct ending, which I guess would be all 3 of them lived. But
did we just spoil it for everyone?
Well, apparently it's really hard to be able to actually get all 3 characters to live, because there's one area of the game that is like pretty much guaranteed you're gonna lose one of your people if you go there that way.
Oh, interesting.
But you like have to in order to get I mean, obviously I've only played about 10 minutes of the game or whatever so far, so I don't know what that is. But man, that was I feel like there is a whole opportunity here to render historical moments through a game in a way that is deeply impactful. And I think it's worth noting, like, Assassin's Creed has done an incredible job of rendering architecture and time periods, but it's very much Assassin's Creed. Like, it's not like it's all twisted and warped within the context of their greater narrative, and it's totally playing with everything and totally playing with the realism of it. But they are doing something really interesting in Assassin's Creed with like recreating the architecture. And I do wonder if there is this whole space of recreating historical moments in time and giving you, the player, an opportunity to live out those moments in a way that is really not, you can't get through just watching something or reading about something. I feel like this is a little weird, but I feel like Hamilton is a little bit of a microcosm of that experience of, like, when you take a series of events from history and you recreated it in a different way that brought something that no one would have read about or learned about or cared very much about at all, and brought it into a context that people loved and could remember. And I mean, obviously, like, Hamilton takes his own liberties with certain things, but like, even this game is like, I don't know what it felt like for three dudes to go into the heart of a nuclear meltdown
Right.
to try and like prevent world disaster. Like, I don't know what was going through. I didn't even know that there were three guys who had to go in here and do this.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I've never heard
Right.
of that before, but this gives me this taste of what it must have been like to have walked into this room and like, we've got to do this, guys. We have to save the world. Like we have to save the world. The world is literally depending upon our success here. And you're just like, whoa, like, oh my gosh, wow. Yeah, it's that. I think that's a really interesting application for games to step into. And it's certainly like there are games that have done that, and there are games that have tried to realistically re-envision. I think as Jason mentioning Medal of Honor.
Medal of Honor, right?
Yeah, it's really neat when games try to do that and try to recreate specific historical context. Actually, I always remember the 1066 date, which is when William the Conqueror came over from France and invaded England. And I remember this because that event is the tutorial level in Total War II.
Okay,
and
gotcha.
that just always sticks in my head of like, oh yeah, William the Conqueror coming over in 1066, introduction of the French language into what eventually became English. And anyway, sorry.
I think we each have something that we've learned from a historically accurate game that has stuck with us, right? I think we each have that. And I think when it's done in a good way, like your Hamilton example, it makes me think of a story. When it's done in a good way, then it has good effects to it. And there's always the twisting and stretching of truth to make it entertaining. So that's the argument that where these type of media is a bad thing because it gives you a warped perspective of actual events.
Right.
But there was, I have seen Hamilton when it came to Columbus, and during intermission, I was walking out to get some snacks, and there was a family behind me walking with me, and there was a 10-year-old girl who was very excited about this show, and maybe she was a little older, maybe she was 12 or so. She was very excited about the show, and she was talking to her dad about things that Aaron Burr did after the events of the show. And that's pretty amazing that she was interested enough to look it up and know about it, and then be excited to talk to her parents about it. And that was really kind of cool. I'm thinking that something like this, this game that we just played, I'm thinking other events that would apply well would be maybe like the Apollo 13 accident.
Yeah.
And you're playing the person in Central Command or trying to figure out what's wrong because they were in complete control of the capsule, trying to figure out what's wrong and how you have to fix the situation. Something like that would be a very good application of something like this, and teach how they were able to overcome that accident, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of events like this that can be applied here.
Sure. That's fascinating. Yeah.
I would learn a lot from it myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. I'm glad we made it to this game. Like, I think that was a good conversation we got to have. So I'll throw up our 5 title cards again. We'll put the links to the games in the description. I believe it's colloquially referred to as the doobly-doo. I believe that's the phrase.
Down in the doobly-doo.
But yes, so we'll throw links out to there, and you can enjoy the peaceful island of Proteus. You can investigate what is the meta mystery of the beginner's guide and have a conversation with me afterwards about it. And we have not that Liquidators, but a different Liquidators. We'll put a link to it. You can investigate the history of the portal concept with Nabacula Drop. And if you really, really hate life, you can go play Get Over It and try to get farther than I did.
Don't do it in that order. Do Proteus last.
Do Proteus last. There you go. Awesome. Well, yeah. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us for this month's Let's Play. It was a lot of fun. There was a lot of cool games that we got to play through and check out. So we'll be looking forward to whatever comes next month. As always, if you have ideas for games or for concepts or themes that we can play, feel free to shout them out. We actually have a channel in the Discord for the Let's Play specifically now. So if you want to throw out stuff in there, feel free, or directly message me. That'd be great. Always looking for suggestions. It's by the community for the community, we'll say. So
Absolutely. We do this for you.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. And with that, we're going to sign off. Unless, Scott, you had any last minute words or...
Nope. All good. This was a lot of fun. Thank you, everybody.
Yep, we'll catch you all next month. And actually, we do. Wes will want me to say that our regularly scheduled COG meetup is this Saturday, actually, the 27th at 1 p.m.
It is this Saturday. You're right. Yes. Good call.
Alrighty. Well, thank you, everyone, and have a great rest of your weekend. And we'll see you next Saturday. Cheers.
See ya.